showing some excerpts how the architects which I have been interviewing. I have interviewed 9 architects, and then I have got 40,559 words, and I have done some content analysis, but not totally discourse analysis. This is I'm more familiar with this discourse analysis than this kind of content analysis. But among the architects were 2 former chief editors of the Finnish Journal of Architecture, and then there were 2 who have doctoral degree in architecture, and 2 of the interviews are university professors. I'm just, if you count, you might notice there are more than 9 because they are different positions. I won't say the names, but possibly it's possible that also the Finns, you might recognize some of the pictures and by capture some hint who those might be. Okay, the professors, one is in history of architecture and the other one is architectural design. And then there was one interview who had almost 40 years career as municipal architect. And then one of them is very eager to write and also active in politics, but not in Satornostopotia, not in Seinäjoki. And 4 of the interviewed, they had their own office. I don't know how to say normal architects, they had office at their own office. And 2 of those offices is Seinäjoki and 2 elsewhere in Finland. And I have to say this, of these of those who have office, they are male architects, you say. And then some of the excerpts about the discussions. One of the interviews said that it makes people think, if you say something about beauty, it makes people think that absolutely most beautiful, and that's something that nobody wants to say or define. And then talking about beauty, and it embodies more or less high or sublime, and that doesn't belong to the present day. And in aesthetics, there rose already a couple of decades ago the idea of everyday aesthetics, and that doesn't have beauty at all in this discourse, if you say. And then somebody said that beauty is not there where the money is. Some interviews revealed that using beauty definitely puts the actor in a difficult light position. There are soft materials, like from women, and even though this was a male architect who was talking, and the real things, the money is there somewhere else. And with somebody we ended up to discuss with relative beauty and then to experience. And actually quite many we discussed a lot of experiences. And that in a way includes many areas in the cityscape, sensitivity to see and sense things, and the co-work between brain and hand in architectural training. And about how easily to people it's discuss about beauty, mostly it's something that they seem to long for old times, the old areas which they are used or they are learned to be familiar, might be like that. But considering public discussions about beautiful and ugly architecture also, different styles were elaborated. People seem to long for old times and buildings aged enough. Sometimes those are the only relics from earlier decades. But then we discussed a lot, with almost everybody, we discussed about this Enso Kutsai, which is so admired by architects, but some laymen still see ugly. It's quite an old building, but people don't like it so much. So, and some also in newspapers or some discussions, you can see somebody is like really saying that they want the Norman house back and those other buildings away. But, so it's not always the old which comes the best. And then with this one long discussion, it was also talking working on thinking and talking to the same time. It was the most easiest interview I ever made, because I just asked one question and then I got to answer it 1 hour, and I was like translated 1 hour. But it's not. Can say that he was very skeptical with the subject. He explained that talk about tranquility, harmony and peace be more truthful, but also that people many ways mix up the beauty with other things like feeling good, what makes them feeling good, so it's beautiful. And he said it can't be the same thing. Perhaps it's something primitive instincts, or perhaps something learned. And he went on speaking, architecture could be more than the things we see. We also sense architecture with other senses, and how people need, again, these good experiences. And then the beauty, this came twice, this tool. The beauty is a tool. He explained that the beauty to be something, okay, learned with tranquility, but there can't be any sharp critics almost reigning with the harmony. And he said very, very strictly, after 1 hour, he said that he can't. The beauty is a tool, but I do not use the word. I rather talk about harmony, balance, reducible in all art as well, music and poetry as architecture. And this harmony came many times in this 1 hour. And then also something that it's much easier to say that that some artifacts are beautiful, like Pirkkalas, some ways, or Aalto Tapio-Pirkkalas ways, they can be beautiful. But buildings, they must be seen in their own environment, that they compose in unity which we can then experience beautiful. Experience can be beautiful. The buildings, no. I think that might be also that these architects I was interviewing, they're thinking that they can say their own buildings be beautiful. There might be that some others, like Engel or Alvar Aalto might have beautiful buildings, but not themselves, perhaps. And there's of course this rational culture which was rising after modernism. One of the professional writer architects had an answer to my first question, why do architects not talk about the beauty? He concludes that architects don't want to talk about aesthetics. They think that have an argument in a different way. They have the argument in a different way, and must be connected to the rational culture which was rising after modernism. And then he also said that politicians should validate their decisions and speeches with inquiries. Architects have to give reasons with functional benefits. And I was just thinking the politicians are not always giving any thinking so rational and giving all those inquiries. So why in heaven, why should architects only talk about functionality and not the softer or other things? And then in another discussion interview came again this tool, but now architecture is tool. And this was the architect said that I have never difficulties with clients to get through the fine and beautiful solutions. Earlier he had said he is not using the word beauty. He is not using beauty or the word beauty, but he can get through beautiful solutions. And I agree. I see quite many in his buildings. It's not a problem, but the way we have to do things means those to be just one value among others, not dominating. It's beauty is there, but it can't be in the discussions dominating. Architecture is always a tool for something, and what is beauty? It belongs to time and place very strongly. So